guys, Tony Gerard here for Shawnee College Science in Seconds. And I've got something here that I bet most of you guys are not aware of. Most people will recognize this common marsh plant as a cattail. What very few people know is this is actually the wild ancestor of our modern corn dog. Native Americans made a lot of use of this plant. It's a monocot, right? Just like corn and wheat. And before it's at this stage, the fruiting body here, if it's cooked, if it's baked, it has a very bread-like texture. But inside there's a thin layer with a very meat-like texture and taste. Biologically, it was probably designed for omnivores like raccoons and possums to want to get in there and tear it up and scatter the seeds and things like that. But now, if we cook it all at once, we've got an outer edible layer with a thin layer inside that tastes very much like meat. Now, the Native Americans made use of this as a seasonal treat, but they never really domesticated it like they did corn and squash because they had no way to preserve that inner part. That came along after we had refrigeration, and people began to work with this, breeding them to get a thicker, meatier layer and an outer layer that didn't mature so quickly, so that everything matured at the same time, and we could cook it and have this outer bread-like layer with the thicker interior meaty layer, and that could be preserved through refrigeration. Now here's one that we've cut open, and we can see in here this central area that becomes the woody part, but on either side of it we see that greenish area, right? Now when that matures, that's the part that has the meat-like flavor and texture. Now on these wild cattails, it's not nearly as thick as on a domestic one. Way back in the 1700s, Father Jean Mermet, who was a French Jesuit priest in Illinois, mentioned that if this only matured at a different time of year, it would be a great meat substitute during the period of Lent, you know, when they weren't allowed to eat meat. So we got the central woody portion there with the meat-like portion on either side, not yet mature in this particular individual. So very few people realize this. The cattail, the wild ancestor of our modern corn dog. How cool is that? And happy April 1st, guys.